While I was in Cambodia at the USAID mission doing site visits of different schools, one organization reached out and said, "Do you mind visiting one family at their home?" I said, "Sure, why not?" I wasn't sure what was ahead or what was going to be there. So we went down a dirt road that was pretty far out in a rural area. There's a lot of flooding here and transportation is difficult. I saw houses as we passed that were built on stilts to prevent water from getting in them. So they were built up high. We parked, walked a little longer as there was no road to get to his house, and crossed 2 rivers. When we got to the house, it was on stilts. They said, "This is a family who has one child who is deaf." And I said, "Oh." I was curious to see what their situation was, so we went inside the family's house. Instantly, I saw a corner with a boy just sitting and staring. He was about 7 or 8 years old, very skinny, with huge hearing aids on either side flopping around. And I said, "Hey!" And the boy just looked at me, but his eyes were dulled. I tried to make a connection with him, so I was talking with his parents and introduced myself. I'm a deaf person who works at USAID, and his parents said, "You're deaf and you work at USAID? My son's deaf too." Trying to communicate with him, I asked his parents, "Does he know sign language? Do you teach sign language to your son?" And his parents said, "No, the doctors told us don't use sign language. He has hearing aids, so that should be good enough." I told them, "I think he needs to have sign language." So I tried to interact with the little boy, and the boy just looked at me. I tried to teach him, "Look, this is a ball, and this is the sign for ball." And slowly, the boy mimicked me, and he was responding, "Ball." Everyone was shocked. There was a lot of information going around that wasn't accurate. And people think something is good, but really, we should have this resource instead. It got to a point that it's really important for people to have access to education. That family in that house in the woods who weren't close to a school, and there were no schools nearby that would know what to do with him. And so we have to think about the deaf kid who can't go to school and learn. And in that moment when I taught that little boy ball and everyone looked at me, I knew they had made the connection that he can learn. It's just important with international development in the education sector that we recognize that all children, no matter if they're a boy or girl or have a disability, whatever their identity is, they could and should have access to equitable education.